if you take the diabetes in perspective between at a genetic level, there are differences. We need to identify that and then come up with our own treatment algorithms.
It always says that prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
And it's so fascinating to get to know about what diseases we can get in our future and to prepone it by getting the data and everything. I think it's really very fascinating and it's really helpful.
Because people think that I don't want to know what I'm having because I'm living good life. That is the main problem. There are kind of treatments. For example, there is an 62-year-old person who was on diabetes medications for, probably this guy is having something, just his blood sugars are high. It is not diabetes. It is something called, thanks to ChatGPT, to be honest with you. Initially we used to have a lot of trouble of making them understand. Now we want to put the gene and you put in ChatGPT, what does this gene do? It is giving all the information. It is becoming very easy for the layman to understand. And then fortunately we have almost 97% success rate, that 97% of the people either did not deteriorate or did well. If you really look at the Indian demographics, we are in a very precarious point. So we are boasting around that we are the youngest population in the world. But if you really look at in a different perspective, within 20 years, so we are going to have all these chronic conditions. If we don't act now at a policy level, we are going to be the most diseased population in the world within the next 20 years.
So today's guest is someone operating at the cutting edge of medicine, data and deep tech. A clinical genomics expert and entrepreneur, a builder at the intersection of NGS, AI and preventive healthcare. He is redefining how we predict disease before it strikes. As the co-founder of GenepoweRx, his work is helping shift healthcare from reactive to truly predictive. Please welcome Dr. Kalyan Uppaluri, a doctor who doesn't just treat diseases, but engineers the future of wellness itself. Welcome, Dr. Kalyan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
A very busy doctor is here with us today. So we'll keep it really short as he's a very busy doctor and we are really excited to know about his journey. So, sir, you started as a medical doctor?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Like our audience would be very happy to learn what is this startup about, how was your journey from being a doctor and moved into genomics and AI-driven healthcare?
Yes, yes. So it is actually a very fascinating journey. So I am from India. I'm born and brought up in Hyderabad, and I did my medical schooling in Hyderabad, Gandhi Medical College. And since I graduated, and immediately I married my classmate, and we went to US together. So there I did my residency, which is post-graduation in general medicine, and um, like life takes you in a different path. So I was mostly into academic and faculty. So I was faculty for a medical school in US, in North Carolina. That is when my fascination towards the genomics, it was starting to evolve into a specialty field. And at the time, the physicians don't have that kind of a knowledge into this genomics, because it was mostly considered a biotechnology and molecular biology department, not a clinical one. So that is when my mentor, who is Dr. Michael Snyder, and Snyder Lab from Stanford, they were starting this course for physicians, where they were trying to see how we can bring this technology into bedside. How do we bring this genomics technology bedside? So I did a master's in Stanford.
And the story is about Stanford.
This is from Stanford. So Snyder Lab from Stanford University. So after my MD and being a full-time faculty, I did another master's, and then that is when I realized that this is where the medicine should be evolving. So the right, you said rightly, the medicine is right now reactive. So you are not taking care of your health unless you don't have a health. So we are treating unhealthy. So we are doing more and more patchwork. So once you get sick, it is more patchwork. So you come with a problem, we treat symptoms, and then we are not going for the root cause. This cycle repeats, repeats, repeats. So how do we prevent? That is what the medicine is about. That a good physician should focus on prevention rather than just managing the
Curing.
symptoms. So that is when this concept of this one. So that is how it started. And then I was having a couple of options, either to go into a big biotech company in US or to come back and do something in India. And to be honest, I was kind of leaning towards getting a good corporate job in US, but my wife insisted that we should go back and try something here.
Thanks to your wife.
So yeah, that is how it started, because we had a tenureship, professorship, and everything right there. But my wife was very particular that we have to do something in this work, because at the time when we moved back in 2019 and founded GenepoweRx, at the time the whole data, the data which was in the gene sequencing data, it is majorly Caucasian. So the most research and everything was being done on Caucasian population. So there is very little representation from India. So we don't have enough data. We do not have any sequencing data. So again, it is a cycle that we want to prevent from happening again and again. How do we bring in this knowledge to India?
India.
So that is when we started.
But how do you know that there is like the data, India lacks in data and everything?
So in genomic data, once you have the sequencing, there are only about 4 countries at the time we are doing sequencing for the population.
Okay.
So if you look at UK, so NHS, which is the government sector of complete United Kingdom, they started this project in 2015, where they started sequencing the whole population.
Okay.
So right now we have almost some 20 lakh people sequenced data from UK.
20 lakh people.
20 lakh. And most of the research is happening on this data. So in future, the medicines which are being developed that are going to come from this data. So we are also trying to build this kind of a data set from Indian context, because there will be subtle differences between, even though we are all human beings, at a genetic level there are subtle differences which is part of evolution. So the diabetes in a Caucasian is not the same as diabetes in Indian. That is proven multiple times, and we are also having that data. So for example, if you take 100 people who are diabetic from Caucasian population, almost 40 to 50% of them will have some kind of a kidney damage. But in India, out of 100, only 10 are having kidney damage. So the standards cannot be the same. So the goals, for example, the kind of treatment you give for that population should not be the same what we are doing here. So we need to develop that indigenous understanding. Lot of clinical data is happening, but it is all at the clinical level. We don't have the data at the genomic level. The clinical data is substantial in India. If you took AIMS or any government institutions or any research institutions, we have clinical data because of the sheer volume. So even now we are considering the diabetes capital of the world, hypertension capital of the world. The reason is because of sheer volume, because of the population that we have. But if you take the diabetes in perspective between at a genetic level, there are differences. We need to identify that and then come up with our own treatment algorithms.
Okay. So, it's like it always says that prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
And it's so fascinating to get to know about what diseases we can get in our future, and to prepone it by getting the data and everything. I think it's really very fascinating and it's really helpful.
Yes, so it is a very good point that you brought up, because people think that I don't want to know what I'm having because I'm living good life. That is the main problem. But it is not about a prediction that I'm going to say that, okay, you are doing well now, within 5 years, you are going to develop some kind of a disease. Not like that. So what we are saying is, you have a loaded gun, which is gene. we are going to say that don't pull the trigger. The trigger could be your diet, trigger could be your stress management, trigger could be your immobility, trigger could be just the food you are eating. So you have a gun is what the genetics will say. You have this gene which is proven to have this condition going forward. So these are the triggers you need to avoid. So you need to start screening at what time. So okay.
Okay.
So you are 25 now, suppose. So what we are trying to say is 25 is good if you can start taking care of yourself now. Instead of getting diabetes or the gun being triggered at the age of 45, you can prevent it till 60. So having diabetes at age 45 and having diabetes at age 60 is huge difference. There is a huge difference in management and treatment. So that is what we are going to tell. There are epigenetics, which is how you are exposed to different environmental toxins and everything which is around, and then the stress you are going through. So there is nothing to avoid it. There is nothing like stress avoiding, but you should be aware of what is going on inside your body, what are the things that you should look for, and awareness is what we are bringing onto the table, and this is one predictive model of evaluating. The second part, which is really right now is going on, or we are successful in bringing the awareness into the market, is something called pharmacogenomics. This is again a very beautiful field which is really evolved in Western world, that we are still developing the solutions. So not every medicine works the same for everybody. We need to understand the differences. So we brought that into the market, and that is what is really exciting after 6 years of, I should say 6 years is not as rosy as we thought it would be, but still we were supposed to contribute something, and we are bringing something new technology to the people. And in India, I think compared to rest of the world, I think we were successful in bringing the cost down. So India is a very price sensitive market. The same test which costs around 60,000 rupees in US, we were able to do it in 5,000 rupees.
Oh, is it?
Yes. So that is something we really were very proud of, that we are catering to the common people of India, not just the elite rich.
That's really great.
Yes.
So this idea was already being used in other countries,
Yes.
and then you thought that why shouldn't it bring it to India?
Yes.
And you're the one with, along with your wife,
Yes.
you brought it this concept to India.
Yes.
And the beautiful thing is that the cost is like
Yes.
5 to 10% of what US market is costing for it.
Yes, 5 to 10%, and the another beauty of it is your genes don't change. It is once in a lifetime test.
Oh.
You get it done. See, for example, you are using medicines, and the medicine cost is, you spend around 10,000 rupees on medicines. You rather have this test done for 5,000, which is you have the data forever. Probably you need a medicine which is only cost you less than that, or you may not even need the medicine. So that is one which we launched it with AAG hospitals. So Dr. Nageshwar Reddy is a huge supporter for us. So he launched it, and he mandated it that everybody going to the hospital should get it done, because he wants the prescriptions to be accurate, with less side effects, and should work. So it is how we are bringing in this science to the masses. So the volume is there. We can cut the cost down. We can deliver the results because we have volume, and we need this testing, because polypharmacy is a big thing right now in India.
Amazing. This is really very fascinating, and I think after this podcast, maybe I'll think of getting that test done.
You should get it done. Yes, absolutely.
So GenepoweRx has been into market since 2019.
Yes.
And you deal like with something very personal, people's genetic risk.
Yes.
What has been the most emotionally powerful or life-changing moment you have witnessed through genomics-based prediction?
Yes. So I can tell you a lot of user case scenarios, especially in I will tell you some examples. There are kind of treatments. For example, there is an 62-year-old person who was on diabetes medications for I don't know how long. So, and then he is kind of an guy who really strictly follows everything and then uses these medications. He has a lot of abdominal issues, not able to eat, not able to, and then multiple episodes of blood sugars going low. And then we did an analysis on him, and then we found out there are no genes actually for diabetes as such. His
Oh.
renal parameters, everything, the eyes, everything. He was taking this medicine for so long. And then we suggested that probably this guy is having something, just his blood sugars are high.
Hmm.
It is not diabetes. It is something called asymptomatic hyperglycemia in medical terms. So his blood sugars are always high. For example, his normal is 130 of blood sugar.
Hmm.
So we told him that this is your normal blood sugar. You do not need the medicine. He started medicines and it's been 4 years. His HbA1c is still the same. It is around 7.5. He is not having any symptoms. And then he checks everything regularly. Just because of stopping the medicines. Again, he kind of got control of his life. The problem with diabetes is it is a psychological feeling that I am diseased. Once you
Yes.
take away that part, the quality of life improving. And then this is one part with medicines part. The most comforting thing that we did is hereditary cancer prediction. So,
Oh.
for example, there are out of 100 cases, 20% are family run. Not everything, 20% are, especially breast ovarian. As you know, there is BRCA1, BRCA2. Everybody knows these terms because of the history. So we have couple of family members who has multiple people, and then they were getting these regular screenings and everything, and there is always this worry because you saw the pain, you saw the suffering in the family member. There is always this pain. So we did the analysis and we told them that fortunately the mutation that your mother had when this
Hmm.
cancer
Hmm.
is heterozygous. It is technical term, but you don't carry the same thing. So you should not be worried as such. The chances of you having the cancer is same as the one next to you. Because of the family history, you don't have it. And then that is when the real thing believes. So that takes away that anxiety running behind the mind. And so on and so forth. There are multiple, every day we deal with so many people. So the most satisfactory outcomes are the medical management. So people are on 3 different medications, 4 different medications. You take away few, and then they see the difference after so long. So that is one is very reassuring and rewarding for us that it is going in the right direction.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes,
I think psychology matters a lot.
absolutely.
Yes. And uh, like if the person is psychologically, like the mindset is right, I think
Yes.
half of the battle is won there only.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it takes time to understand. Okay, once you say that there is this is the evidence, this is the your genetic makeup. These
Hmm.
are the things that you see. Once you get more understanding, and thanks to ChatGPT, to be honest with you, initially we used to have a lot of trouble of making them understand. Now, once you put the gene and you put in ChatGPT, what does the gene do? It is giving all the information. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. The evidence is there.
Hmm.
It is in a very medical jargon. Now
Hmm.
with newer chat GPTs and everything, it is becoming very easy for the layman to understand. Okay, so the report says I have this problem, and then once you put in chat GPT, it is giving you the exact same recommendations. So it is again validating what we are saying repeatedly, and then the people are again coming back after 2 to 3 years. At the time, I did not understand what you said. Now the ChatGPT gave me the same recommendations. Now we understand it better.
Hmm.
So the information is available right now.
Hmm.
So how do you bring that to the clinical level is what our main startup is all about.
But building a deep tech health
Mhm.
startup in India is not easy,
Yeah.
like scientifically, financially, or emotionally. What were the toughest early struggles while building the startup, and what was there any point where you almost like gave up, like नहीं हो पाएगा?
Yeah, of course, there are I think even sometimes at least once or twice a week I wake up and say to myself, why did I come back?
Is
At least,
it?
of course, there will be a lot of issues with multiple things. But having said that, initially when we started this, we always thought that healthcare in India is very, very emotional.
Hmm.
It
Right.
is very emotional. It is not something that you can take it lightly. So everything else, people just will try. So for example, even though you know that food is not good for you, you want to indulge and then try and see. But healthcare is very emotional. You don't want to do that. So healthcare is delivered through physicians and healthcare system.
Yes.
There is we have no confusion in that. So we never thought that we will have a product which will be like a fun genetics, that we are going to give a prediction. We can go like a B2C and give a report which is just you understand more about. We never thought that would be of any clinical use to the end customer.
Hmm.
When we charge this amount, it has to be clinically useful. Something has to change, something has to change, and some utility has to be there.
Hmm.
And that comes when it is involved within the healthcare systems. So that is our biggest strength. The same thing is the biggest weakness, because it is not easy to convince
Yes.
the physicians that there is something which is new, and the change is not easy.
Hmm.
To bring that change, it took us lot of effort from us to bring in these awareness campaigns, make them that understand that this is what is happening. This is what is happening in US. This is what is happening in Europe. This is going to happen within the next um, 5 years or 10 years in India. So you need to adapt to this. So that took us a lot of time. And then the breakthrough happened with AAG hospital. So that is when we understood that the concept of us has to happen through the system. So in AAG hospital, then that is when we decided, okay, we don't have to go back, we can stay and do something.
Hmm.
And then from AAG hospital, we went to second hospital, third hospital, fourth. Now we serve around 45 hospitals in India, and then 28 diagnostic labs. We do the back end and reporting for so many big labs and institutions, because now the science is validated.
Hmm. Hmm.
To make this validation, it took us time, because we need to create the data. So we have to go to companies like Genentech, which is a global company, and then try to write a research project, get the Indian data from that.
Hmm.
So we got data on 7,000 people. That is when we started developing the database, and then validate the uh, models. And then we have an IT team who doesn't understand anything in science. So the biggest challenge again, when you ask what are the biggest challenge, the IT team and the medical team can't work together. So I will tell you exactly why. A medical doctor, or the training that a medical doctor has,
Hmm.
is identifying the problem,
Yes.
and the IT guy is a developer. So we need to give exactly what we want, unless then they will not start developing. So for us, unless you give me something, I don't know if it will work. I will only identify problems. So this back and forth discussions is so much so much time it took between us, and then we understood the psych between each other, and then the model started developing because of the computational improvement.
Hmm.
It is like it is an divine force which is driving us. The GPU, when it came into the existence, that is when the magic started, because the data we deal with,
Hmm.
we have almost 70 TB data. The servers can't work, and AWS bill we can't pay. So we have to have in between.
Hmm.
So we were part of this Nvidia Inception program. We applied for that grant. We
Hmm.
got a $25,000 grant from Nvidia. So
Okay.
they gave us this server place, and then we put all in data, and then started running the algorithm. So we can do the trial and error at that time. Until then, there was only one shot. So they used to say, do you want to run it? It is going to cost you $1,000. If it fails, again you have to run it for another $1,000. That was the AWS bill we had. We cannot do it with physical servers. So AWS, Nvidia, that was another breakthrough in our journey, that we can do a big data analysis at an because they give the grant. So that is when the things started flowing, and then the validations and everything came, and then the publications came through the validations. that is when the market opened for us. Because we have to show the physician that it is approved, right?
Oh God.
So it is a process.
How did you stay motivated along all this process?
Yeah, my wife. She somehow she decided she is going to stay back no matter what, and then she insisted that we have to make this happen. There is no other way around. There is no point of going back. Now we jumped. We took a leap of faith, and then let us run with it. And then it multiple iterations, and then it is like again it will sound like a divine force which is driving us. At the right time, the right solution came into the place, and then at the right time we were in the right place to because they were looking at something which is the Indian market is also evolving in such way that the diagnostic labs want a new vertical which is something new, and then we were there with the completely end-to-end solution, so integrating was easier, and that is how it slowly evolved into where we are. I am not going to say that it is performing amazingly. Still, the awareness is around only about 2 to 3% of physicians are right now adapting to this. The inflection point comes when there will be around 20% of physicians starting to adapt to this science. That is when the inflection happens in India.
Okay. I think the next podcast I should be taking off your wife.
Yeah, you should be talking to her. Yeah, yeah.
But it sounds like a lot of process of getting the reports and everything. Like, is there a like too many? Is it like a surgical process or something? How
No,
does
it
it
is.
work?
So usually it is we get the sample. If the person is
Sample of
usually we take
blood
the blood
test.
sample,
Okay. Just
blood
a
or
blood test?
just a blood test, 2 ml of blood. And if you are not available in this metropolitan areas, even a buccal swab.
Okay.
You just take a buccal swab and send it to us. We can isolate the DNA from it, and then do the process and reporting. So it is just a blood test, like any other blood test. So we will give you report back in 2 weeks, and the report and the counseling will be done. And if the physician is involved, your own physician, we will send the report what needs
Okay.
to be done, so that it is a straightforward thing. So most of the physicians, what they do is they take a picture of the prescription and then send the blood sample for us, and then we give them back that this prescription is right now this is suited for the patient. Continue the same, or you can cut down the dose on this one. This one doesn't work, so this is the right regimen from us. What are the alternate recommendations? And then that is the physician will change the prescription. You're done. So, and then we have data of all about 12,000 user cases so far. So we are again doing the back end work and then trying to validate every step. And then we collect the data again after 3 months or 6 months after changing the prescription. Did it improve? Did it got worse? Is what is happening? And then fortunately we have almost 97% success rate. That 97% of the people either did not deteriorate or did well. So about 3% of the cases lost follow-up. So I cannot say. It is not that something bad happened. So 97% they are doing the same way or got better in terms of less side effects, better control of the condition.
Amazing.
So it is.
But Dr. Kalyan, do you believe that India is truly ready, like clinically, culturally, and technically, for large-scale genomics-based preventive healthcare?
No, we are not there yet. But if you really look at the Indian demographics, we are in a very precarious point. So we are boasting around that we are the youngest population in the world. But if you really look at in an different perspective, within 20 years, so we are going to have all these chronic conditions. If we don't act now at a policy level, all these conditions are really going to, so we are going to be the most diseased population in the world within next 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have to, our average age right now is around 20, I guess, between 20 and 25. So if you don't do at a policy level in terms of food or blood pressure or the lipid profiles and the heart attacks, or this coronary disease. These are the things which are going to really um, affect us as a country level within 20 years. So in Vision 2047, I think that is what the government is also implying, that the population health as a whole should take the precedence, and we have to have this genomic level understanding of what is the disease pattern, that at what place is happening, and we need to intervene at what places, especially in women's health and cancer health. We need to understand that.
Okay. So, what is that one mindset shift both doctors and patients must take in like next 5 years?
So, for a physician perspective, whether we like it or not, this is going to become mainstream medicine. So, preventive medicine is going to uh, take precedence, because most people are educated, most people are aware right now. So, if you don't participate in this change and you don't agree with the newer AI and big data analytics, the practice is going to be affected. And from the population or the personal perspective, so you need to understand your body. You cannot take it for granted.
Yes.
You need to understand what the environment is doing to you, what your food choices are doing to you, and then you need to understand your genetics and put everything in perspective and aim for a healthy lifespan rather than just
Living it.
living. So it has
Completely
to be
agree.
healthy lifespan.
Yes.
So you need to enjoy and then be productive at the same time, have a good quality of life. It is about quality, not the quantity. So that is what I strongly believe. If you want to be healthy, you start at 25.
I completely agree with you. So, Dr. Kalyan, one word to describe the future of healthcare. One word.
So in one word, the future of healthcare in one word is reassuring.
Re?
Reassuring for me. Future of healthcare is reassuring that most of the treatments are not going to be carpet bombing anymore. It will be more personalized.
More personalized.
It will be more personalized. So we are not going to have this take this medicine for life, get the disease under control anymore. It is going to be targeted therapies. So you have this defect, this medicine will cure the disease, not control the disease. That is what the future is.
Great. Biggest myth about genomics?
Biggest myth about genomics is this science is novice. That is the biggest myth. I, as a scientist and a physician, I strongly believe there is nothing like advanced science. Science is novice. We only understand about 2% of our body functions still. So if you start to believe that this science is more advanced than this science, you are not putting the perspective right. Science is always novice. So you need to believe that it is evolving science, trying to see how best with the science which is there, how best you can help the person. That is what the science is all about. So science is always novice. That is my strong belief.
Great. So, if not a doctor or a founder, what would you have been?
I would have been a farmer, I guess.
Is it?
Yeah, oh, all my generations, my grandparents and everybody is a farmer. So farming is something that most likely, if there is not for urbanization or all this education and anything, maybe we would have lived in the same village, and then maybe I'll be more happier. I don't even know. So the same thing with you, I guess. If you go 3 or 4 generations back, probably you are from a village, and then imagine you are in the same village with no urbanization, no pressures or anything. Maybe we would have lived happily. But I would have been farmer, I guess.
But no, but thank you for bringing this startup in India, and people are really very grateful for this startup. And then thank you, Mr. Kalyan, for being here, for sharing such a fascinating story. And we are really grateful that you have bring it here on our platform. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you for the opportunity, and really glad to have this kind of discussion, especially with young team, do because every story is having something new. I hope we will continue working together and you should get the test done.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
definitely doing it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.